and he is definitely one of the very finest comedians ever produced in Ireland. Just to think about a few years ago, he was a Garda on the beat, and now he is telling jokes for a living. And definitely one of the finest. Will you please welcome Mr. Shaun Connors?
Ah, lovely. Thank you very, very much. It's nice to be back on television. The last time I got a spot on television, it was black and white. But you know, comedy is a funny thing. In America, you tell jokes about the Polacks. In Canada, about the Newfoundland. In England, about the Irishman. In Ireland, we tell them about the Kerryman. Now, the only difference is the Kerryman makes up these stories and he tells us. It's like the Kerry fella driving to Dublin in his new JCB GT. He breaks down, he gets on the phone to the AA, he says, "Could you come out quick?" So what's wrong? He says, "Me new JCB GT has broken down." The fella says, "What gear are you in?" He says, "Me brown jacket and me grey trousers." It's only great. He goes for a job. The boss says, "Can you make tea?" He says, "I can, sir." He says, "Can you drive a forklift truck?" He says, "Why? How big are the teapots?" Actually, there's two Kerry fella get a job at the council laying the flagstones, and they're working very, very hard one day, and this fella pulls up in a big Rolls Royce, and he's watching, and one fella says, "Big Gobby," says, "have a look at your man over there. I think he might be after our job. We'll have to go over and have a word with him." He says, "How are you buying? Nice car." He says, "Not bad." He says, "Are you in the same business as ourselves, laying the flagstones?" He says, "No." He says, "Actually," he says, "I'm a precision engineer." He says, "I never heard of that." He says, "What does that mean?" Well, he says, "It means," he says, "I have to work to within 1,000th of an inch." Ah, he says, "Be no good in our job." He says, "We got to be spot on." Kerry fella goes into a Chinese takeaway and there's a big sign that says 2 curry pies a pound. Kerry goes in, he says, "How much are them pies?" He says, "I don't know that. 2 curry pies, £1. He says, "How much for one?" "Ha ha ha. 75 pence. Right, he says, "I'll have the other one." Thank you. But you know, the ballroom of romance has returned. It's true. The old-time dancing is back down in Jury Sunday afternoon, tea dances. A friend of mine was dancing around with this American fella. He says, "I work in a naval destroyer. Do you know what a naval destroyer is?" "Yeah," she says, "a hula hoop with a nail in it." They're coming home and the taxi starts messing and says, "Get your hands off me." She says, "Gee, baby, you turn me on so much, I can't take my hands off you." She says, "Do you want to see where I had my operation?" She says, "Baby, I'd love to see where you had your operation." She says, "Driver, take us round by the Mater Hospital." I mean, who remembers the old-time dance halls like the Olympic, the Crystal, the Jetland in Limerick, the Arcadia in Cork, the Abbey in Drogheda, when the women didn't drink, when they were in the dance halls merely waiting on us, lined up against the far wall, cardigans on back to front. We were over in the pub having a few jars, and you wouldn't have a care in the world because there'd be someone out there minding your bike. And we stand there, one button draped, drain pipe, margarine pouring down your forehead. Closing time had come, drink up, cross the road, take up your position on the opposite wall, weighing up the women. And have you noticed people smoke nowadays like this? We used to smoke like this. What about those 2 women over there? No, he says, "I don't like the look of your one." But the women always knew whether it was a Dublin fella or a country fella coming over. A country fella would be coming over like this. Where did he learn to walk like that? It must be in the fields, walking over the couch. He'd stand in front of the girl and he'd say, "Are you took?" She says, "I'm not." He says, "Will you face me for this one?" The Dublin fella had his own special walk. And the 2 women would say, "Mother of God, I hope that creep is not coming over to us." But you'd stand in front of her, look him down and said, "Are you getting up?" There's no ask me, pal, I'm sweating. You'd grab a hand and you start chatting her up there. "Do you dance here much?" "No, sometimes I dance over there." "Where have you been all my life?" For the first half, I wasn't born. Second half, I was hiding. Can I have the last dance? She says, you're having it. Well, you meet her the next night, take her into the pub. What would you like? I'll have a vodka. If they haven't got a vodka, I'll have a McCarthy and Coke. 10 of them, she's sober as a judge. 10 pints of Guinness, and you're drunk out of your mind. Closing time, she's helping you out the door. She says, I feel very hot. So I'm not surprised, got the price of a ton of coal inside you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not looking at checking the time, it's just I got a present off the wife. Still trying to get the balls into Mickey Mouse's ears. Ladies and gentlemen, as I say in this day and age, most people think it's nice to be important. I think it's far more important to be nice. You've been very, very nice to me. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Go back, Shaun.